Hi, Dr. Guo and my fellow classmate. My name is Shi Yong with metric number 23004658 from Tutor 1 Group 4. Today, our group would like to present Chapter 4, the Management Environment. Before starting our presentation, let me introduce my group members. There are 10 members in our group, which is Moey Yee Li, me, Shi Yong, Nicole Ang Pui Xin, Yun, Jet Sheng, Sor Bei Yun, Hasif, Khor Xin Ning, Amirul Shakirin, and also Chiau Rong. This is our table of contents, which including 5 discussion questions on page 146, the first case application, bad right but be right, on page 149, and also the second case application, not sold out, on page 150. Let's start with the first question. How much impact do managers actually have on an organization's success or failure? From my point of view, manager has a great impact on an organization's success or failure. It is because a manager plays the role of a leader while defining the activities and objectives of various employees in an organization. For instance, managers need to ensure collaboration, train teams, manage talents, develop career plans and future leaders, coach and mentor employees, manage senior stakeholders and compliance with ethical protocol, and also facilitate the execution of strategic plans. Besides that, the quality of manager will influence the action and performance of the group led by him or her. Manager also help in creating a harmonious atmosphere within an organization. Moreover, company culture, policies, and values all filter through the manager in an organization. Managers will impact organizational health and influence employee experience, including engagement, growth, development, and also productivity. For example, when managers are low effectiveness or unskilled, they will nevertheless create stress, disengagement, and frustration in those employees working under them. It shows that managers can influence an employee's workplace satisfaction and they have a closer impact on an organization's success or failure. That's all from me. Now I will pass it to the next presenter.
In this part of the presentation, I will be discussing on why the managers need an understanding of what happens outside their organizations and to give an examples of how change in the external environment can affect their job. Managers must understand the external environment to adapt to a changing world and make informed decisions. Most managers are trained in an environment of certainty. However, now they have to learn to cope in an environment that are filled with uncertainty and increased complexity. What is an external environment? External environment refers to factors, forces, situations, and events outside the organization. The external environment encompasses political or legal, demographic, economic, social, cultural, technological, and global. I'll go into further details on the external environment component. First, we'll talk about the economic component. The economic component consists of interest rates, inflation, employment or unemployment rates, disposable income levels, stock market fluctuations, and business cycle stages. Next, the demographic component consists of characteristics such as age, race, gender, education level, geographic location, and family composition. The technological component consists of scientific and industrial innovations. Other than that, the social cultural component is about societal and cultural factors such as values, attitudes, trends, traditions, lifestyles, beliefs, tastes, and patterns of behavior. Furthermore, the political or legal components consist of federal, state, and local law, as well as laws of other countries and global laws. It also includes countries' political condition and stability. Last but not least, the global component talks about issues such as political instability and terrorist attacks that are associated with globalization and the world economy. So after understanding the external environment, now let us look into why the managers need to know the external environment. By understanding the external environment, managers can make strategic decisions. Managers could use external information to make informed decisions about the direction and goals of the organization. Understanding market trends, competitor actions, and industry dynamics is crucial to formulate effective strategies for the organization to achieve success and earn revenues. Next, managers are also able to adapt and be agile in the ever-changing environment by understanding the external environment. Managers need to adapt to changes swiftly in the dynamic environment, and agility involves being flexible and fast in integrating new ways of work to operate in the new landscapes and rules of the game. Managers need to be quick to understand how to be agile, lead their team, and adjust organizational processes and structures as needed. Next, I'm going to give examples of how change in the external environment can affect the manager's job. A manager's job can be affected both in good condition and poor conditions due to the external environment change. When referring to a manager's job, it typically involves responsibilities, roles, and functions performed by individuals in managerial positions within organizations. For example, changes in technology can impact the manager's job. With technological advancement, it has changed the way managers manage their employees, especially in their interaction with the employees. Employees are no longer limited to only working in the office. Now they can work anywhere at any time. Managers are able to communicate effectively and efficiently with employees who may be working from home or working halfway across the world and ensure work goals are being met. Furthermore, technology has now changed the way managers conduct meetings with their employees. Workplaces can hold meetings remotely with video conferencing technology and work on shared documents with cloud-based file sharing, tools that sync in real time to keep track of changes. As an example, real-time collaborative software such as Microsoft Teams and Slack streamlines business tools into one centralized place, letting businesses connect and achieve more tasks together. Other than that, the change in the economic environment also can affect the manager's job. The state of the economy also plays an important role in ensuring the thriving of the company and its profit. When the economic trends downward, meaning recession, unemployment increases, and businesses might find it harder to maintain their current employees and continue to generate revenue. Managers need to be cautious as they explain the changes happening to their employees to avoid creating an anxious workplace environment. If the business's stock decreases, managers should reassure the employees about their job security to avoid motivational problems. For instance, managers could explain the situation of the organization's stock going down, what is the organization's plan to overcome the situation, and be open about the employees' job security. However, during recession, managers might need to make a tough decision to lay off employees, while ensuring that the morale of the other employees is not affected. Managers must also actively dismiss false rumors in the workplace regarding the organization to keep the employees motivated. Lastly, changes in the political and legal environment can also affect the manager's job. Taxes implemented by the government can affect the managerial decisions. Managers need to be aware of the changes in taxes as the increase or decrease in tax will affect the organization. For example, the corporate tax in Malaysia is 24%, which is significantly much higher compared to its neighboring countries like Singapore, which is taxed at 70%, Brunei at 18.5%, and Indonesia at 21%. High corporate taxes can deter foreign companies from investing in the organization and restrict business activity, which can greatly impact the manager. Managers will have to make a decision that will benefit the organizations and also reduce its corporate tax. Managers might make a strategic decision to pass the tax onto their consumers in the form of higher prices on the goods and services offered, which becomes a hidden tax. As an example, in a report made by Adam Mitchell, the high price that American workers pay for corporate taxes in 2017, US is known as a relatively open economy, and it has shifted its tax from owners of capital to workers, which are the suppliers of labor. This means that laborer will have to bear the corporate tax while the business continue to make a profit and increase the value of the firm to the shareholders. In conclusion, the dynamic nature of the contemporary business landscape demands that the managers transcend traditional notions of certainty and embrace the complexity and uncertainty of the external environment. The external environment encompassing political, demographic, economic, social, cultural, technological, and global factors serve as a compass guiding strategic decision making. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I'll pass it on to the next presenter.
Now I'm going to discuss question 4-3. How has the change economy affected what managers do? Find 2 or 3 examples in current business verticals of activities and practices that organizations are using. Discuss them in light of the changed environment. The economy changes in trends and demand of the people over time. Many change occurs due to the factors such as interest rates, inflation, employment or unemployment rates, disposable income levels, stock market fluctuations, and business cycle stages. Managers have to stay ahead of changing external factors to react promptly to these changes. The change economy has increased competitive arenas for business. Managers are important to make strategic decisions. Managers have to study data and trends in order to collect information. The first example is talk about embracing remote work. With the COVID-19 pandemic, many organizations have started the remote work arrangements to ensure the business continuity and manage teams that are disbanded geographically. They need to implement effective communication and collaboration tools, set clear expectations, and ensure productivity and engagement. This requires new skills such as virtual team management and the ability to foster a sense of connection and belonging among remote employees. Next, the second example is adopting agile methodologies. The fast-paced and uncertain nature of the change economy has led organizations to adopt methodologies to enhance their adaptability and responsiveness. Managers are increasingly using agile practices to enable teams to quickly identify and address emerging challenges. This involves breaking down projects into smaller, manageable tasks, promoting functional collaboration, and regularly reviewing and adjusting goals and priorities based on changing market conditions. Managers play a crucial role in facilitating practices, promoting a culture of continuous improvement, and empowering teams to make autonomous decisions.
Next, for question 4, we're going to discuss about why it is important for managers to pay attention to demographic trends and shifts. It is important for managers to pay attention to demographic trends and shifts as it influences the workforce diversities, generations perspective, resources demands, and labor market situations. As demographic change, the characteristics of employees and customers will change as well. Managers must adapt to these changes in order to properly motivate their employees and meet the needs of the customers. For example, as baby boomers are on the verge of retirement, Gen X are moving into leadership roles, and meanwhile, Gen Y are just starting their career. Managers are forced to face with younger workforce with different ideas of works and organizational commitment. The change in society will also present opportunities as more seniors are demand a greater emphasis on healthcare and other services important to an aging population, such as retirement program. Therefore, understanding these trends allows managers to make decisions and better adapt to the change to maximize profits and sales of the business.
Question 4.5. Businesses operate in the external environment. Discuss whether managers experience environmental stability in their business operation. In this context, provide local examples of environmental stability and environment uncertainty. So, what is environmental stability? Environment stability refers to the rate at which changes occur and also the predictability of the changes. Thus, managers can define environmental stability by seeing whether the changes are fast or slow and predictable or not predictable. The environment stability is classified into two, which is stable environment and dynamic environment. First, I'm going to talk about stable environment. The change in a stable environment is slow and predictable. In this stable environment, managers will have time to monitor and respond to changes in a deliberate manner. An environment might be stable if, first, there are no new competitors entering the industry or there are only a few of them trying to enter the industry. Second, only few technological breakthroughs by current competitors. In this way, managers can adapt the technological changes easily. And the last one, there's not much influence by the pressure group. The environment is stable since it doesn't bring much impact to the environment. Following up is a local example that experience environmental stability, which is TMB. TMB is a Malaysian multinational electricity company and is the only electric utility company in Peninsular Malaysia. TMB operates as a natural monopoly because the cost is too high for other competitors to build an electricity distribution system. However, there are still some external challenges faced by TMB, which is there's a rising competition from renewable energy. For example, Malaysia has set a new initiative under the National Energy Transition Roadmap (NETR), which is a strategic plan to facilitate a country's transition to more sustainable and environmentally friendly energy sources. So, how does TMB overcome this problem? TMB had made an energy transition plan aligned with NETR, emphasizing three key pillars, which is accelerating generation decarbonizations, developing a flexible cross-border grid, and empowering cross-sector electrification and prosumers. Next, I'm going to talk about dynamic environment. It is also called as environment uncertainty. The components in a dynamic environment change frequently, and the changes are mostly unpredictable. Failure to monitor or respond to these changes often results in a company demise. There are many factors that lead to dynamic environment, and a few of them are: first, changes in customer preference, behaviors, and expectation. Second, rapid developments in technologies. And the third one, frequent and unpredictable changes in regulation at the local, national, or even international levels. So, Petronas is a great example in Malaysia that experienced environmental uncertainty. To introduce Petronas is Malaysia's integrated multinational petroleum corporation that has over 30 years of experience in oil and gas operations. However, Petronas is always facing a dynamic environment where the changes are uncertain and unpredictable. One of the biggest challenges faced by Petronas is labor shortage. Petronas is undergoing rapid changes due to the implementation of new technologies and increased automation. These changes create a need for new skill sets that many current workers in Petronas are not equipped to handle. To overcome this problem, Institute Technology Petroleum Petronas was built to accelerate human capital development in the oil and gas industry. The INSTP team has been engaging with the capability management units in Petronas to assess the talent gaps and offer customized programs to close those gaps.
Today, I'm going to summarize the case application 1, which is bad right, bumpy right. The topic of my discussion is organizational culture, organizational values, and leaders' influence on culture. Today, we'll be focusing on Uber. First, let us talk about the origin of Uber. Uber was first founded in 2008 by Travis Kalanick to address a very common problem that we all face, which is difficulty in hailing a cab. This is based on his personal experience in Paris during a snowy evening. Thus, he created the Uber app, whereby with just a click of a button, we can easily get a ride. And with such creative innovation, Uber has successfully expanded to become the world's largest ride-hailing company, operating over 600 cities with a valuation of $70 billion and a workforce of more than 14,000 employees. Though Uber has faced many controversy due to its culture, which is formed based on a certain foundational belief, which is pursue hypergrowth at all costs, win at all costs, be confrontational but be principled, even having mottos such as always be hustling and toe-stepping. Next, let us talk about the teamwork and working environment of Uber. Uber actually do not focus on teamwork and collaboration, thus the working environment was described as baller. Celebration of achievements included chest bumps and push-up competition by males. This has created an exclusionary atmosphere for females. Furthermore, Uber's managerial action is also filled with many controversy, and these are a few of them. The controversial decisions made by Kalanick and other managers included Kalanick having a heated argument with an Uber driver over fares. Not only that, the development of the grey ball technology to deny services to riders that violated Uber's contractual terms. Furthermore, Uber had violated the privacy of one of their customers by releasing confidential medical report of a rape victim. This was done by the president of the Asia Pacific region. Due to all these unresolved issues, Uber's biggest investors eventually forced out Kalanick, hoping that a change in leadership would provide Uber with the opportunity to refocus and recreate a new culture. They have appointed a new CEO, which is Dara Khosrowshahi, CEO of Expedia. The newly appointed CEO also faces many challenges, such as needing to rebuild the executive team, addressing allegations of sexism and harassment, and addressing financial concerns. Though under this new leadership, they noticed a cultural shift. Internal sources highlighted the differences between Kalanick and the new CEO, describing the latter as humble, a good listener, and a diplomat. Last but not least, we'll talk about the end of Travis Kalanick's tenure. Uber founder and CEO Travis Kalanick met their end in February 2017 due to a toxic work culture, hostile to women, and filled with managers who are willing to disregard abuse of employees, competitors, customers, laws, and law enforcement officials. Thank you, and this is the end of my summary. I'm going to pass it on to the next presenter.
The question of 411 is, what role does a CEO play in an organization culture? What role do other leaders, managers play, and what role should they play? First, what role does a CEO play in an organization's culture? The CEO plays a crucial role in shaping an organization culture. They set the tone for the company's value, ethic, and norms, which in turn influence the behavior and attitudes of its employees. In the case of Uber, former CEO Travis Kalanick's aggressive and confrontational style was reflected in the company's culture. His motto, such as always be hustling and toe stepping, encouraged a competitive and individualistic environment. However, this approach also led to a toxic work culture, as highlighted by Susan Forward's blog post and other subsequent revelation. On the other hand, when Dara Khosrowshahi took over as CEO, he brought a different set of values to the company. Known for being humble, a good listener, and a diplomat, he aimed to create a more inclusive and respectful culture at Uber. His leadership style and approach to addressing the company issues demonstrate how a CEO can influence and change an organization culture. In summary, a CEO leadership style and values can significantly impact an organization culture, either positively or negatively. Other leaders and managers in an organization also play a crucial role in shaping and maintaining its culture. They are often the ones who implement the vision and value set by the CEO at different levels of the organization. What role do they play? First, implementing values. Managers and leaders are responsible for implementing the company's value in their respective department. They ensure that these values are reflected in everyday operation and decision-making processes. Second, modeling behavior. Leaders and managers serve as role models for their teams. Their behavior set a precedent for what is acceptable within its organization. If they uphold ethical standards and demonstrate respect for others, it encourages similar behavior among employees. Third is communication. They play a key role in communicating the company's mission, goals, and values to their teams. Clear and consistent communication help ensure that all employees understand and align with the company culture. Last but not least, feedback and recognition. Managers provide feedback and recognition, which can significantly impact the work environment. Positive reinforcement of desired behavior can strengthen the company culture. Now, what role should they play? First, promote a positive culture. Managers should strive to create a positive work environment where employees feel valued and respected. This includes promoting diversity, inclusivity, and equal opportunity. Second, encourage ethical behavior. Leaders should encourage ethical behavior and integrity. This means not only following laws and regulations, but also treating others with respect and fairness. Then, support employee growth. Managers should support their professional growth and development of their employee. This can be achieved through training, mentorship, and providing opportunity for advancement. Then, address issue. Leaders should be proactive in addressing any issue or conflict that arise. This includes taking action on any behavior that contradicts the company's value or culture. To sum up, while the CEO set the tone for the company's culture, it's the responsibility it's the respons- it's the responsibility of other leaders and managers to implement this culture throughout the organization. They play a key role in shaping the work environment and influencing the employee behavior. Question 4 to 12. Using Exhibit 4 to 4, describe Uber's culture under its founder. Here is Uber's culture under its founder, Travis Kalanick, according to the 7 dimensions of organizational culture. First, attention to detail. Uber, under Kalanick, were more focused on rapid growth and expansion rather than paying attention to detail. This is evident from the numerous controversies and legal issues the company faced. Second, outcome orientation. Uber was highly outcome oriented. The company prioritized growth and market dominance, often at the expense of other factors such as employee welfare and regulatory compliance. Third, people orientation. The company's culture was not very people oriented. There was numerous allegations of a toxic work environment, sexism, and harassment. Employee welfare often took a backseat to company aggressive growth strategy. And then, team orientation. Uber culture under Kalanick was not very team oriented. The emphasis was more on individual achievement, as reflected in the mottos always be hustling and toe stepping. Then is aggressiveness. Uber was extremely aggressive under Kalanick leadership. The company was known for its confrontation approach to business and its disagreed for established norm and regulation. Then is stability. Stability was not a hallmark of Uber's culture under Kalanick. The company was constantly pushing boundaries and disrupting entries market, leading to a turbulent and unstable work environment. Last but not least, innovation and risk-taking. This is one area where Uber excelled. The company was highly innovative and was not afraid to take risks. The creation of the ride-hailing app itself was a major innovation, and the company continued to push the envelope with initiatives like self-driving car. In summary, while Uber under Keranic was highly innovative and outcome-oriented, it lacked in areas like attention to detail, people orientation, team orientation, and stability. The aggressive culture forced under his leadership led to rapid growth but also result in numerous controversies and a toxic work environment.
Next, we are going to discuss about what is the view of management that we see play out here. First, what is omnipotent view? Omnipotent view suggests that managers are directly responsible for an organization's success or failure. Managers have significant control and influence over the outcome of the organization. If the organization performs well or faces challenge, it's attributed to the action and decision of its manager. Next, what is symbolic view? Symbolic view persists that managers have limited influence and control over the organization's success or failure. External factors such as the economy, industry trends, and social forces play a more significant role in determining outcomes. Managers are seen as symbolic figurehead who may not have the power to shape the organization's destiny directly. In the Uber case, the omnipotent view appears to be more evident initially. Travis, as the CEO and founder, played a significant role in shaping Uber's culture and decision-making. The aggressive style and values he instilled, such as pursuing hypergrowth at all costs, reflect a strong belief in the direct influence of top management on the organization.
So the next topic is, what advice about organizational culture would you give to the new CEO? The first advice is, understand the current culture. Before making any changes, take the time to understand the existing organizational culture. This includes observing how things operate, talking to employees at all levels, and reviewing any existing cultural documentation. The second point is, clarify and communicate vision. Clearly articulate the visions and values you want to instill in the organization. Make sure this vision is communicated consistently across all levels of the company. The third one is, lead by example. Demonstrate the behaviors and values you wish to see in your employees. Your action will be closely observed and they set the tone for the rest of the organization. Next is, involve employees in the process. Cultivate a sense of ownership and involvement by including employees in discussion about the organizational culture. Solicit their feedback, ideas, and concerns. And the last one is, align policies and practices. Ensure that organizational policies, procedures, and practices are aligned with the desired culture. These include human resource policies, performance evaluation methods, and reward systems.
Questions of 415 is, from an ethic perspective, what part of this situation disrupt you the most? What career advice, as far as ethical behavior, could you take away from this story? For part which disrupt the most, first, toxic work culture. Susan Forrest's descriptions of a toxic work culture raises serious ethical questions. Negative attitudes toward women and a culture that discourages cooperation and teamwork can negatively impact employee well-being and the organization's ability to success as a whole. Second, unethical business practice. Fairness, transparency, and customer trust are ethical issues that are brought up by the use of Grable, a technology that is intended to identify and refuse service to rider based on contract violations. Technology of this kind has the potential to discriminate against and manipulate particular people. Third, privacy violations, sharing a rep victim's confidential medical record and proposing a theory that the rep might have been set up by a rival is a grave breach of privacy and a serious ethical violation. Such actions show a total disregard for the well-being of people impacted by such traumatic events in addition to a lack of empathy. 4. Corporate sabotage and espionage. It is unethical and possibly illegal to spy on rival companies' executives, drivers, and staff in order to obtain trade secrets. It hinders the integrity of the business ecosystems and trends fair competition. Restoring trust with clients, employees, and the community necessitates addressing these ethical concerns. The appointment of a new CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, who has been described as humble, a good listener, and a diplomat, indicated a shift toward a more ethical and responsible leadership style. There are some career tips that can be derived from this story, which provide numerous lessons about moral conduct and leadership. First, make a healthy work culture a priority. Urban survives a great deal as a result of the toxic workplace cultures described in the article. As a person studying a career or advancing in one's, give top priority to working in settings that promote inclusivity, respect, and teamwork. Pay attention to how employees are affected by the culture of the company. Second, integrate ethical principles into leaderships. Leaders are essential in establishing the moral standard within a company. Prioritize moral principles like empathy, justice, and honesty when holding leadership roles. Encourage a culture in which moral conduct is valued and even expected. Third, balance ambitions with ethical consideration. Pursuing hypergrowth and success is a common goal, but it should not come at the expense of ethical principles. Think about how your choice will affect each and every stakeholder, such as the community as large customer and staff. Win in a morally and sensibly manner. 4. Encourage diversity and inclusivity. Create a varied and inclusive workplace where all employees are treated with respect and feel appreciated. Taking care of sexism and harassment concerns is essential to establishing a work environment where all employees can prosper. 5. Respect teamwork and collaborations. Success in any organization depends on teamwork and collaborations. In conclusion, the story's career advice emphasize the importance of ethical leadership, a positive work cultures, and a commitment to continuous improvement. Balancing ambitions with ethical considerations and promoting inclusivity are critical components of establishing a successful and ethical career.
Next, I will be going to summarize case application 2, which is not so out. In this case, we will learn the importance to understand and manage the complexities of a global workforce at a company called Taobao. First, let me start this story by introducing the background of Taobao. Taobao is a Seattle-based company, leading provider of analytics and business intelligence software solutions, which was founded in 2004. It has more than 35,000 clients across a multitude of countries. Despite facing formidable competition challenged with the software giants Microsoft, the company has experienced a notable 64% increase in revenue over the past year, largely attributed to its successful international expansion. Taobao's international revenue saw a remarkable 86% increase last year, now constituting a quarter of the company's total revenues. This growth has allowed Taobao to maintain a strong stand in the competitive market for business intelligence software. Taobao's international footprint is extensive, with 14 locations worldwide, including the major cities like Shanghai, Singapore, Sydney, and London. More than half of the company's 2,800 employees work at the Seattle headquarters. Expanding globally brings forth numerous challenges for Taobao, including cultural differences, time zone disparities, and the geographical distance that can impede the seamless application of consistent management practices across different locations. Recognizing these challenges, CEO Christian Chabot devised a strategic approach to managing international growth. One key element of this strategy involved Chabot spending almost a year abroad, working in the company's London office, gaining valuable insights to support further international expansion. Chabot's immersive experience in London went beyond regional sales growth. It sent a strong message that employees outside Seattle headquarters are integral to the company's success. His actions emphasize the belief that locations beyond the headquarters are vital. This shift in perspective is having a profound impact on Taobao's overall success, shaping the company's culture and approach. Chabot's transformative experience has prompted Taobao to encourage other executives to follow suit by spending time at international offices. This approach seeks to replicate the positive impact of understanding and managing the global challenges across the company leadership.
Questions of 416 is, table staff is international office primarily with host country nationals. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this staffing strategy? 4 advantages. First, cultural understanding. Citizens of the host nations are probably more aware of the custom, business manner, and culture of the area. This cultural understanding is helpful for navigating the regulatory landscape, establishing rapport with local clients, and communicating effectively. Second, language proficiencies. Employing local granted language proficiencies, which is essential for efficient internal and external communications. Clear communications can reduce miscommunications and improve teamwork as well as clients and team member collaborations. Third, local market knowledge. Nationals from the host country have extensive knowledge of the local market dynamic, customer preference, and industry trends. This understanding is critical for tailoring products and service to the specific needs of the local customer base. 4. Adaptation to local business practice. The host country citizens are used to the local business practice, which can be very helpful for day-to-day operations. This means knowing local law, appropriate business conducts, and negotiation techniques. 5. Flexibility and agility. Local teams are frequently more agile and responsive to market change. They can quickly adapt to changing customer needs and market conditions, contributing to the company's overall flexibility and responsiveness. While staffing international office primarily with host country nationals has its advantages, there are also potential disadvantages to consider. First, cultural alignment issue. Cultural differences within a country can impact your alignment with the overall culture of the company, even if you are a native of the host nations. Ensuring that the values and work culture of an international office are in line with the overall organizational culture can be challenging. Second, communications problems. While applying local guarantee language competencies, communications problems can still occur, especially if the official language of the business is not the same as the local culture. Miscommunications and misunderstandings can happen, which hinder productivity and teamwork. Third, limit global perspective. International office may have a limit global perspective if they only hear citizens of the host country. People from different cultural backgrounds can contribute a wider range of ideas and perspectives to a workforce that is diverse. 4. Potential for ethnocentrism. Hiring a large percentage of native from the host nations may unintentionally result in ethnocentrism, which is biasing of judgment and viewpoint in favor of the custom and value of the home nation. Because of this, it could be challenging to adjust to the demands of the regional market. To summarize, while staffing international office with national from the host country has advantages, company must carefully consider the disadvantages and strive for a balanced approach that promotes diversity, inclusion, and cohesive global organization culture.
For question 417, do you agree with Chabot that the company will benefit if more executives spend time in international office? Why or why not? Executives spend time in international office can provide several benefits to a company. Here are some reasons why this could be beneficial. My first point is global view. Executives who work in foreign office get a first-hand grasp of various market, custom, and business procedure. Considering the variety of the company's operation when making well-informed strategic decisions can be greatly aided by this global perspective. My second point is communication and collaboration. Being physically present in international office promote better communication and collaboration among teams in various locations. Face-to-face interaction can help geographically dispersed teams build a stronger relationship, resolve issues more efficiently, and foster a sense of unity. My third point is talent development. Executives who work with international teams can identify and nurture talent from various regions. This can help to develop a global leadership pipeline and improve the organization's overall capabilities. My last point is adaptability and flexibility. Exposure to a variety of work environment aid in the development of executive adaptability and flexibility. This is critical in a global business environment where market condition, regulatory environment, and customer preference can vary greatly from one region to the next.
However, while there may be benefit, there may also be negative aspects and cost to having executives spend time in international office, such as the need for effective communication tools, travel expense, and potential disruption of the executive primary responsibilities. Thank you.
So next for question 18, as Tabla executive gets ready to spend time in the company's international offices, how can they prepare for cultural differences they will encounter? There are several steps that Tableau executive can take to prepare for cultural differences when spending time in the company's international offices. So firstly, they can do cultural research. They can research the culture of the country or region where they will be visiting. This can help them to understand the values, the customs, and the norms of the local people, so that they will not encounter cultural shock when they arrive at the country. Next is to learn local language. Tableau executives should learn some basic phrases in the local language. Even a little bit of efforts to communicate in the local language can go a long way in building rapport and showing respect for the culture. Next is to be open-minded. Being open-minded and try to see things from the perspective of locals. It is important to remember that different cultures may have different ways of doing things and not always necessary or appropriate to try to change them. Being open-minded opens up the way that they think and let them gratefully accept the cultural differences. And lastly is to interact with the locals. Apart from being just learning the culture, they need to physically interact with the locals, seeking out opportunities to engage with the locals and learn about their culture. This should including joining locals cultural events or festivals, or even joining the locals club or organization. So by taking these steps, Tableau executive can better prepare for cultural differences that they will encounter.
Question 4 to 19. What are some of the challenges Tabla will face as it hires 1,000 new employees in 1 year?
Hiring 1,000 new employees in 1 year is a significant undertaking, and Tableau will likely face several challenges. My first point is recruitment process. Finding the right talent that align with the company's values and needs can be a difficult task. It involves sourcing candidates, conducting interviews, and making hiring decisions, all of which can be time-consuming and resource intensive. Second point is onboarding and training. Once the employees are hired, they need to be properly onboarded and trained. This includes introducing them to the company's culture, operations, and tools. With so many new hires, it can be difficult to ensure efficient onboarding and training. The third point is maintaining company culture. As the company grows rapidly, maintaining the company culture can be difficult. It is important to ensure that the new employees understand and align with the company's values and mission.
For the next point is communication. With an increase in the number of employees, especially in different locations, effective communication can become more complex. Ensuring everyone is on the same page and fostering collaboration can be challenging. Next point is management and leadership. Managing a larger team requires strong leadership. There may be a need for more managers or team leads, and existing managers may need to adapt their leadership styles to handle larger teams. So the next point is infrastructure and resources. Accommodating a large number of new employees may require expanding office space and resources such as workstations, software licenses, and so on. So these challenges can be managed with careful planning, clear communication, and strong leadership. It is also important to have robust HR and IT systems in place to support the growth.